This is a highly anticipated video that you guys often wait for. I've done this every year. In this video, guys, I'm going to be talking about all the upgrades that happened in 2024, the plans that I have in 2025 to swap out some of the tech, and DIY projects and things that I can recommend. And during the course of this video, I'm just going to pepper in as I stop by certain places, as I remember what has come in and what hasn't. It's going to be somewhat disorganized, but I want to be able to just speak my mind and talk to you guys directly. So I'm not going to be heavily editing this video as I head over to CES tomorrow. So go make sure that you guys follow me on Instagram at Gameroom Theater, and I'll be sharing a lot of content there. So I'm going to start back in this corner. As you can see, a lot has definitely changed in 2024. I changed the configuration of the seating. This is Valencia Theater seating. It's their Prestige line. And guys, these are now almost 3 years old. I've always worried about this piano finish. And, you know, people put their phones down, their jewelry or whatever, you know, the backs of watches. It is slightly scratched up. As you can see, maybe you can just barely make it out. I just cleaned this and I just vacuumed the seats for this video. But you can certainly see some indents and imperfections, but overall held up really, really nicely. I changed up the configuration because, you know, I had 3 seats there and 2 here, thinking I can't do this long of a line. It'll close off the space too much to enter. But I realized when I measured it out that it's going to be absolutely fine, because this is the main viewing that you get, you know, sitting in these 3. I mean, sure, you hurt your neck a little bit, but it's not as bad as people often comment in my videos that these guys, you know, his friends that sit in these seats might get cramps. Not really. I mean, this is barely a 30-degree angle, and my perspective on it is I wanted it to still feel like a stadium where, you know, seating is surrounding this. So I have some extra seating when people come over that I fold out and put out there, which I usually end up on, by the way, because I like treating my guests so that they're comfortable, that they're catered to, and they're looked after before I am. So it's a blessing to have guests. And, you know, anyway, I'm getting distracted, but long and short of it, I wanted it to feel like a stadium around this thing. And that's why I have seating here as well. And plus I can't put seating there. It would really close off the space, and I can't add more seating here because there's no entry to this area then. So I've made peace with it. This is how I'm gonna have it, and that's kind of it. As for this table, nothing's really changed. If you guys remember, this is the table from Sober Design. Coffee table, drinks are always nearby. I love my Barbicans. Anyway, and then on top of this I change up and theme up often. The reason why I do that, I know it's so freaking extra, but I love it, guys. You know, this is my seat. I love this seat because, as you know, usually people come over, they're sitting on this side. Sorry, I just hit the camera. But when I'm sitting here, I like being able to see all of this. And my other favorite seat, because, you know, this is just way too close to the giant screen, is this, because then I can see everybody and everything, like especially for hosting a party. Like look at that view. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Look at the view from here, guys. It's you know, I've had it's really surreal for me how this all turned out. Anyway, going on into this space again, you know, I've changed this up many times where I theme it out as if I'm at the event, right? Like, you know, say you're at SoFi Stadium and they have this awesome mini Jumbotron there. This is from minijumbotron.com, by the way. I have a video on this where I've automated and show live stats, and, you know, there's a game on, Rangers versus the Capitals going on right now. I have a full DIY video. You guys, if you already follow me, you may have already seen that. So anyway, I love changing this out and creating that atmosphere of watching a big game and being there, craziness with tickers and lighting, and people are like, oh my God, it's a crazy sensory overload. Yeah, so you do things that are to your taste. To my taste, this feels like the craziness of a stadium where there's fog machines going off, lighting going off, loud sounds, you know, things like information all over the place. I love it. I love it. And perhaps you might like some certain aspects of it. So this is a holographic fan from a company called HoloFX, and I've got links to everything in my bio, guys. So just go to my link tree if you're curious. I listed all. This is simply a mat, a mat I found online for it's a large computer mouse, and I liked it because the back is this rubbery feel, and it doesn't move, and it just creates this awesome effect. By the way, this is connected by Wi-Fi. You can push whatever images and logos you want. I don't want any hate from you guys. I'm an Eagles fan, and it is what it is. So they are doing awesome this season, by the way. Anyway, let me see where else I can go next. So this has swapped out, and this is big. I won't talk about it in the NanoLeaf lighting, guys. The ticker is big too. I'll get into that in a second. The projector is the same from 2020, end of 2023. This is the EluneVision LTV 3500 Pro, and in my opinion, an endgame laser, triple laser projector, 3500 lumens. It is incredible quality. Look at this thing. And it's got cabinet space, you know, you put a PS5, stuff like that in there. I've got a lot of fans and things running inside this thing. Look here. Anyway, let me zoom in a little bit so it's a little brighter for you guys. So all my stuff is in there. I put a bunch of USB fans to keep it extra cool. And this is all powered. That's what's really, really dramatic. Let me pause for a second and show you guys what it looks like with the TV behind. All right, so this is what it looks like with the 75-inch that I've had for a long time back here. Let me zoom out. You guys get a full-blown shot here. So zooming back in, this is how awesome and theatrical this is, guys, when this thing opens up. So I have a smart routine on my Harmony remote. So I hold this down for more than 2 seconds, then this will open up, and it is so dramatic. Now look at this. This is a powered drawer that's opening up. You see that? I love freaking out my friends when they come over. If they don't, you know, believe it or not, some of my friends don't even know I have a social media. They're just like, wow, this is cool. Anyway, look how neat that is. So it'll search for the signal, and then look, I got a giant screen that opened up on top, and again, this is an ambient light rejecting screen. This whole thing, this entire cabinet is from EluneVision, and they sell this thing integrated. You can buy the floor rising screen that fits perfectly in there as well. And again, this is an ambient light rejecting screen. So lights from the top get rejected, and that's why the contrast ratio looks so awesome. And often people just kind of assume that this is a giant TV when it's not. And it reflects light from the bottom. I've talked about it before. You guys can see my review videos on the UST projectors that I've done quite a bit of in the past. So I'll be doing a lighting video soon, guys. You know, there's certain tips and tricks that I've got that a lot of people often ask about that I haven't had a chance to share, but I will be sharing in the future. So I hope you guys check that video out. As for tickers, I've got long, proper, legit tickers now. And as you can see, this is a scrolling ticker. There's another scrolling ticker there. This is from Glance LED. This is, hey, look, go follow me on Instagram. That just scrolled by. These are awesome, connected, never have to pay for subscription. This is Glance scrolling tickers. This is their 2.5 foot one. And then down here, I just had it really, because I had no place to put it, but it was just, it's just here temporarily. But it is awesome. So it's gonna scroll by with any sports that you want, live statistics, live stats on the games, and what's coming up, what games recently ended, and stuff like that. So very, very nice. Over here, this is the elephant in the room. This is my Alpine Racing sim racer. This is from a company called Track Racer. It's the TRX model, and it came in earlier this year. And this is absolutely mind-blowing, guys. Mind-blowing. You know, I've got some high-end pedals on this thing, and look at the steering wheel. It's a Rexing wheel, and the direct drive unit's a SimuCube Pro 2. And if you notice these blue cars, I've got blue cars everywhere. I got a blue car there, and maybe you guys can guess why. I'm an Alpine fan, especially because these guys were gracious. I got invited to their paddocks and the Montreal Grand Prix, so I actually took this racing rig. I had Pierre Gasly, one of the F1 drivers, sitting in this thing for a while. That's his signature right there. You can check it out on my Instagram. I shared it in my stories on some of the posts that I've made previously. So you'll see it in my highlights there. And this is all new. I put one of my gaming PCs there. This is also new, custom made. I got a mannequin for it, but just because it was just too cool. These guys here, Effendi Racing, check them out. Pretty awesome for racing gear. You know, custom gloves that have my logo on them. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's my logo. And the shoes and everything. Look at this thing. This is just absolutely gorgeous. My logo again. This has been an awesome addition. An actual racing suit, customized, and I had to put it there. So yeah, that's the TRX Track Racer racing rig. I do have another racing rig on the other side, and I'll go there in a second. But let me just show you some of the cars and other things. I really got into F1 this year, guys, big time. I got a chance to meet almost all of the drivers while I was in the paddocks, and surprisingly, a lot of them, just because my content on Instagram's gone so viral, they had seen a lot of my content. So there's Charles Leclerc's car, and then here, 110 scale. These are so freaking awesome. I just got these this year. They're too good. These are cheap toys, believe it or not. They're 110 scale. They're massive. Look at my hand for reference, right? They're massive, and you can find them at Costco. I don't know if they're still on sale or not, but like 60 bucks. I'm like, hell yes, I'm gonna get a whole bunch of those. I won't talk about the arcades because I've shared a whole lot of content on them previously. But let me talk about this in the back. Give me 1 second and I will turn it on. I mean, you can turn it on, it's smart connected too, but let me turn it on manually. So this is also from the same company, HoloFX, and you can check out the link in my bio to them. But you can upload whatever images you want off of your phone. You know, I got a holographic, I mean, this aliasing, by the way, you don't see in real life. It's just the interpolation and the frame rate of my cell phone camera that's causing it, but it is really, really cool. You can change this to whatever you want. Like, you know, if I'm watching different things, let me go. Like, you know, I'm a Leafs fan, guys. I live in Toronto, so that's why that was there. I'm watching baseball. This guy came over this year, Isaiah Stewart, pretty awesome guy, NBA player. Let's just keep going here. You know, there's my logo. Yeah, I made a Max Verstappen video, but anyway, let me turn this off for now. I usually turn this on when people are over. I put this way in the back because it's a little dangerous with blade spinning. I don't have a cover for it. So I'll go to this next. You know, I put the 112 scale cars now up here. It's just running out of room to where to put them. And I wanted to keep it somewhat near all my crazy F1 stuff. So underneath it though, now this is an absolute beauty. This is my favorite arcade in the room right now. This is from a company called Mancave Arcades. They custom built this thing. As you can see, it's got my logo on it. I've put thousands of games on this thing now. And not just the fact that it's got thousands of games, it's the fact that it's big. It's big, and it's got a lot of play area. I did modify this a little bit. I put a subwoofer in there. I don't know if it's too dark to see, but you know, there's a little amp that controls the audio. The audio is excellent, and there's a computer that runs it all. So this thing is pretty darn awesome. Mancave Arcades, you know, check these guys out. Completely worth it. And moving on, you guys have seen my NBA Jam. I'm still having my coffee, by the way. Not a great place to put it, but it is what it is. This is just brand new. This just came in 3 days ago. This is from a company called AtGames. If you remember, I had the Star Wars machine here for the last 3 years. I still love virtual pinball, guys, because you can change it up. This is actually an Addams Family unit, and I'm old school. You know, I grew up I was very, very young when this show started coming out, and it was just incredible. Excuse me, it was incredible watching this. So you can change this up to whatever you want. There's hundreds and hundreds of tables that you can download, you know, and there's haptic feedback. There's actually surround sound, so as the ball's rolling, you can feel it. You can feel it back here. There's a subwoofer in here. It's almost like a small PC that's running inside this thing. Very, very smooth, and I love the size of this thing. This is, once again, this is from AtGames. It's their Legend Pinball 4K, and this happens to be the Adams family unit. So again, brand new, just came in. I'm still messing around with it. This is bumper pull. The people that keep asking, I've had this for several years. I won't talk about it. You can watch some of my older videos. This I made DIY'd a few years ago. I won't spend more time on it. You know, it costs about 300 bucks to build. You can check out one of my older videos, and it's been there for the last 3 years now. This, I'm only gonna talk about my poker table. I'm only gonna talk about this simply because this thing is getting a little long in the tooth. It's pretty banged up and damaged. You guys can, everything looks pretty from a distance, right? Like, you know, from a distance, this is all gorgeous looking, but there's, you know, the people come over, not that they're necessarily rough, but accidents happen. Look at this, there's a rip in the leather. You know, the chairs are starting to fall apart a little bit, separating. And you know, this hitting the back of walls, it's got a little bit of a hole in it now. So anyway, stuff happens, but it all looks pretty online. You know, only I see the imperfections, nobody else really sees it. This I'm not going to talk about. This I've had for several years as well. This is from a company called CandyMachines.com. This section is complete. Let me zoom out a little bit. This section is completely changed. You know, just last year I did have a pool table here, and I took that out. I expanded. I've always wanted to be a pilot growing up. You know, it just never, that dream never came true. So this is the next best thing, guys. This is from Next Best Thing, Next Level Racing. This is, they make awesome stuff as well, racing rig wise. And look at this. This is from Thrustmaster. You got the thrust control there. Yeah, this is for the rudder control in the back. And it is a pretty incredible experience when my EluneVision LTV-3000 Pro, that's the ultra short throw 4K projector, that goes into game mode, so super low latency, and playing on something this large, it is very, very immersive, right? Like as you're sitting here, you know, controlling this, your entire field of view is taken up. It puts a grin on my face from ear to ear. And then the other thing that you may notice is right here, these devices, let me just go close instead of zooming in. So this, I've got 4 speakers and 2 subs. This is also from EluneVision, the company that makes that. They make wireless surround sound systems. Those are 2 subs that they also provide in the box. It's called, the product is called Thunderbeat. It is pretty damn cool, playing immersive surround sound as you're flying around and different sounds are happening, you know, like a Dolby Atmos effect with speakers firing up. It is really, really cool. And all wirelessly done. All I did was put that dongle in that you see right there. They just automatically sync and connect. Highly, highly recommended if you're getting that projector. And then the awesome thing about that is this center, this has a significant wattage speaker built in. And this ends up becoming a center channel, while this is your surround, so this is your front right, front left, surround right, and then your sub channel. So that ends up acting as a center channel, so you get your true 5.1. But again, there's 2 subs, so 5.2 really. And this is also a go-kart. So often, you know, sometimes my son will battle me in an F1 race, for example, playing on this. And this is also a Next Level Racing go-kart. While I sit and play there in the same track, I turn off a lot of features that are like the AI assist and stuff, just so that I don't have an unfair advantage. Yeah, he often beats me. He's got better reflexes than I do. Maybe you should be a race car driver. So anyway, moving on to the theater, I won't talk about this as much because it hasn't changed. Like, stuff that you see here hasn't changed a whole lot. All my equipment rack stuff is all the same. You know, once again, there's 11 speakers in here, all Arendal sound. I've got 3 giant towers behind this screen that are, this is an acoustically transparent screen from EluneVision. I did upgrade my projector to a laser. That is the BenQ W5800, highly recommended. Check out my review video on that from mid 2024. Fantastic laser projector, and the image and the brightness is just incredible, as you guys can see. You know, just beautiful, beautiful image and the pop and color brightness, the accuracy, absolutely fantastic. Anyway, another major upgrade that I walked right by, I don't know if you guys noticed in some of my previous videos, lighting control specifically. So as you can see, I used to have some shutters there for all the giant windows. You know, it is subterranean. I don't want to feel depressed and be in the basement all the time, right? So I have these smart connected blinds now. So if I say turn the game room on, all these blinds will typically close as everything turns on, assuming that I'm typically watching at night. But if I want to open the blinds, you know, they're smart connected. I can just say open the blinds. But you know, I can also do it manually, you know, with a remote, as you can see, and it changes the vibe completely. You know, you get a bright sunny day, and look how more inviting it became. And a good consequence, this is again a great demonstration of ambient light rejecting screens. This is that AWOL-Vision again. Look at this light hitting here, and it's eating it up. It looks just as awesome. You know, sure, you get a little bit of a contrast hit on certain sides, but a perfectly watchable, absolutely giant screen. And again, the vibe changes. And also the vibe changes when I say turn the main pot lights on. So you guys will see in a second, all these lights will start changing to run as regular pot lights. You see this? All of these just switch back up. And that one, some of them take longer than others, but you can see that they're switching back up to run as regular pot lights, which is a pretty cool effect. By the way, these I kind of left so that they don't run as brightly, just because the screen is over there. But the vibe of the room has completely changed, because I don't want it dark with, you know, the big gaudy LED lights all over the place all the time. But again, look at that giant screen, and it still displays beautifully with all the lights on. Switch back to regular lighting with the blinds open, with pretty much direct sunlight coming through. Okay, maybe I'll leave it like this bright, but maybe you guys can comment in the comments here, like, you know, do you like the look of the lights all, you know, basically in ambient mode where it was doing that eclipse halo effect, and or like this with the blinds open and bright and more. I feel that it's a little bit more clinical this way, but you know, sometimes I like changing things up. So anyway, in this part, let me just talk about what plans I have for 2025. It is only January 4th, I think. And I'll be going to CES, by the way. So once again, go check out my Instagram. I'll be sharing a whole lot of stories of new tech that's coming out. It's the world's largest electronic show that happens in Vegas every year. And I'll have a lot to share from there. So what I plan on doing this year, I don't have huge plans to change up anything here drastically. Maybe, and it's a long shot, these might get swapped out with something else. But more to come on that. By the way, I am building Chris Brown's man cave right now. It's going to be absolutely freaking epic. So watch for that video to drop at some point in February or March. I've been over to his place about 4 or 5 times. Awesome dude. It's going to be pretty incredible. I'm going to be doing several other celebrities this year, hopefully. So make sure you guys check out my content and follow me especially on Instagram, just for that aspect of it, because it'll be really interesting. Some NBA players and some NFL players, some big time ones too, that actually follow me there. It's pretty humbling, guys. It's just my social media has really exploded over there, and I wanna feed it with some things every so often. So the big thing that I'm really looking forward to, and hopefully it happens, and it's a high priority, is I've already got bass shakers in this thing, so that you feel the rumbles of the road and the engine and stuff. There's Track Racer has that shaker there, and then there's one underneath the seat. But what I really want is motion. I want to be able to, as I'm driving, feeling the G's as the whole thing turns. So hopefully a D-Box based motion system will be available on this. And then while I'm talking about that, the second thing would be, I am likely going to replace this right here. This go-kart will probably go upstairs and maybe my son's room or something. I want a drift rig, the drift rigs with the different wheels and sequential shift as well. I want that. So hopefully that'll happen this year. That will be the next major thing. And in the theater, there may be some changes again, because I usually change up the projector very often. The rest of the tech, the screen and other things don't really change all that much, but I will likely end up changing the projector. So stay tuned. I usually have some cool recommendations, and I'll be sharing that very soon. And while I'm in the game room, my friends at AV Styles, they will likely be here at some point. And awesome guys. Check them out on Instagram as well. I've always been eyeing a starry ceiling, and I will likely finally get that done in the theater room, to create that effect of, it's basically fiber optics with like a shooting star going, and just that little twinkle that you see. If you've seen any videos of those high-end Rolls-Royce cars, the ceiling liner that they've got, that kind of thing. So that is going to be pretty damn awesome. I know I'm all over the place, guys, but I still get a whole lot of questions on this. I do intend on doing a more dedicated video explaining this in a lot more detail, my digital signage, how I control it and all of that. But in the meantime, just do check out that ticker video, check out my Jumbotron video, because that shows you a lot of my automation. The rest is just really formatting and control. Keep in mind, guys, I show everything off in one big shot, and everyone just kind of assumes like, oh my God, I can't do this, or you get overwhelmed. You're gonna take sections, pieces of this, and apply it to your own spaces. And that's what the intention of my social media is, guys. That's where I find the most joy, is when people respond like, hey, I didn't know I could do this. Hey, awesome ideas. I'm gonna take this, and then I see it implemented by thousands of people out there. And that's where I feel humbled, like, wow, this is awesome. People have taken some of my ideas, and if you do DIY, it's that much easier cost-wise. It's less cost. Again, digital signage is still the #1 thing that draws a lot of people into my social media. So anyway, I'll show you guys upstairs very briefly. Let me get up there right now. Okay, I just told the family to stay kind of quiet because I'm recording audio. Anyway, I'm going upstairs, guys. So here's what the entrance looks like. Let me turn back around. I did add another ticker there because, it's just the craziness. I just wanted to make it inviting as you come downstairs that, hey, this is the approach. Some movie posters, and if you guys remember in an older video I shared, if I'm playing anything in the movie theater, it'll display the poster and the runtime of what's playing in the theater automatically. And you can check out the video on how I did that. So that ticker, again, is a scrolling ticker from Glance LED. And I actually put a smart lock here as well. a thumbprint reader. It's just kind of more theatrical than anything. But let's go back into my office and I'll just briefly talk about this. It hasn't changed a whole lot. It's just, you know, some of the stuff that I ran out of room for, the arcade one-ups have made it up here. And I'm probably gonna be selling a whole bunch of these because I want to change this space up to be different, a bit classier. And you know, as you can see, the other pinball from AtGames is now down there. I brought my Star Wars upstairs, heavily modified as well. But more to come in 2025. Gonna change that space up quite a bit. All right, back downstairs. So aesthetically, I mean, as you guys can tell, there's not gonna be huge changes, but you know, sometimes some things happen very sporadically, as my mind's always active. I enjoy the journey rather than the destination. So, you know, for me, it's like, I'm pretty grateful to God for all that I have, but at the same time, for me, the enjoyment is actually in, like, you know, I'll sit here and be like, wow, this is freaking cool. And then be like, okay, now what? So that's where my endorphin release is. I have to be in motion. I can't sit still too long. And that's why this place will continue to change up. I have no idea what else 2025 will bring, but you can guarantee things will be changing here. And I'll be sharing my best practices, best bang for the buck. I want to do some videos where, you know, there's a tiered approach. You know, if you're just starting off and you got a budget of less than 10 grand, what you can do under 5 grand, what you can do under 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand, or sky's the limit, what I would do. So I want to make some video content on that as well. By the way, I kept walking by this darn thing. This thing is freaking awesome. So I got chewed out in my comments forever, for years, that people would often comment that, you know, everything's awesome, but why does this guy have like a $50 golf mat that's rolled out? So, you know, I finally replaced it with something that is much, much nicer. I have a link to it in my bio. You know, it's got this grass feel. Even if you don't play it, look how freaking gorgeous this thing looks. Look at it. You know, when people come over, you know, I have these in there now. I like looking at it, but these are off and out because, you know, kids are running around, so I don't want this stuff breaking either. So that'll get put away. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's been long and rambling. Let me know in the comments if you prefer videos like this or the highly edited ones where I've got some snazzy edits and different things going on, or you prefer it like that. I hope you guys enjoy my content. Hope you find some inspiration in it. I wish you all the best in 2025 in health, wealth, and prosperity. Please do subscribe. Check out my Instagram as well. And I'll be sharing a whole lot of cool tech and content with you guys all throughout the year. Thanks for watching.